Welcome everybody to the All In, not the All In, that's the other podcast. The Zero Budget Podcast. Live. I don't think it can see us right now. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it's showing our faces. I don't know why all of a sudden we're glitching out. The song is messing up. Everything is a wreck. Hold on. Let me hop in the...
You're doing great.
We're doing horribly. There we are. Okay, they can see us now. Welcome everybody to the Zero Budget Podcast. Live. I am your host, Juptej Singh. With me, as always, is my beautiful, handsome, gorgeous, beautiful teeth co-host, Matthew Hanks. How are you doing, and how are your teeth doing today, Matthew?
Good.
Good to hear. Good to know. It feels like it's been a year and 2 minutes since we were last live.
I would say that's accurate.
Yeah, I mean, I remember last time we were like, what's gonna happen if we don't have anything to talk about?
The opposite happened.
The opposite happened. Now we have a lot to talk about. I think a few hours after we got off, Anonymous came back.
Yeah.
And then the world ended harder than it's ever ended before.
Yep.
At least for the good old Americans, you know. So why don't we?
European.
Do we just want to hop into it? Do we want to talk about ourselves? Be a little selfish ourselves? For those of you listening, we're doing gestures, and those are funny.
It's very funny. I think we could talk about our past week experiences.
Let's talk about our own past week.
You know, we don't have to get into the politics of it necessarily. You know. We did a whole 2 hours about that last time.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just talk about how the format of the podcast is going to be from now on, considering everything, you know. So me and Matt were kind of talking about how we wanted to run this week, and we figured, yes, we are a news podcast, but we also classify ourselves as comedy and entertainment. So we do feel a responsibility to bring updates and talk about the news and talk about, you know, the way we personally are looking at things. But at the same time, we also feel a responsibility to bring some sort of levity. And part of that is also indulging in our own privilege there, I guess, with, you know, we aren't really affected by it, I guess. So we have the privilege of being like, okay, let's talk about dumb movies today. So we're kind of going to try to split that evenly. So we will talk about the protests and the movement and all the politics there, but then we will also try to have a more lighthearted segment, because we know how hard this has been on our viewers, I mean even on us, trying to keep up with everything. It's been, needless to say, it's been a real downer.
Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just a little cloudy outside, you know?
Yeah, so Matt, we went to some protests this week, didn't we?
Yes, we went to separately.
We did.
For the most part.
So why don't you talk about your experience at these protests, and then I can talk about mine?
Uneventful.
Uneventful?
Not saying that's necessarily a bad thing. What's usually good... Okay. I went to two. One was a vigil, which was kind of more just like a silent protest almost, where there was a bunch of speakers talking about things. And that was fine and dandy. I couldn't really hear the woman, because the guy next to us was talking really loudly and rudely. But I thought it was really nice. And then I went to a more traditional protest yesterday. It was supposed to go on for a few hours, but then it started thunderstorming, so the organizer said go home. But no eventful stuff. There's a lot of cars honking at us, mostly in support, I presume.
Yeah.
But generally peaceful, uneventful. At the vigil, though, there were 12 snipers on the building.
Oh, fuck.
Surrounding us. But they kind of all just looked bored. So, I kind of knew nothing was going to happen. So, I mean, that's my experience.
I mean, what was the vibe like at the protest?
At the vigil, very much kind of just like, I think everyone was like listening, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like when the people were speaking, they would sometimes ask us to chant, but like it was not like a constant chant. It was like, let's say this, now let's talk about some stuff. And then at the actual protest yesterday, I mean, we were just standing on the side of the road and chanting every now and then. That was more of a look at us, listen to us,
yeah,
kind of thing. So I mean, the vibes, I mean, they weren't like, let's say, aggressive. Mostly just kind of like chill.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah,
comparatively.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are my experiences.
Europe in like close to DC area. Did you go to DC? Are you planning on going to DC?
We kind of want to, because apparently there's something happening tomorrow. But it's also DC.
Yeah.
Well, just our tricky issue is just finding a place to park, really, because we don't want to drive into DC, and we really don't want to use the metro, or we want to use metro as limited as possible. Also, I have like work to do, so like I should probably do that.
With our pal Joe City.
Joe City, check him out.
Joe City, friend of the show, shout out.
Since last time, I think he's gained 4 subscribers.
Congratulations, Joe City.
Joe City. He pays for both of our lunches. But yeah, But I mean, if I remember, you had, or at least the protests in your area are not as uneventful.
Yeah, they're definitely not as uneventful. So my experience was a little, I don't want to say uneventful, but yeah, it was. So okay, let's just cut right to it. The protests in my area have been tear gassed and things like that, and people have started to get arrested and stuff, and basically like the relationship between people in the city and the police is not good at all right now. So I went to one on Sunday, and then I went to one on Wednesday, and I might go tomorrow. I'm not sure, but the one on Sunday, the energy and just being around all these people was, it was something else. Like, there was such a vibe of like solidarity. Like everyone just kind of, it felt like we were just all pushing towards the same goal, and we were all like a collective, like people, like we were a community. So that was really great to be a part of, and it was also like I saw it remain strictly peaceful. There was this guy on the corner of one of the protests. I remember I talked to you about this, just standing there and like laughing at us. Just this old what's his name? James Peterson looking fuck. Is it James Peterson? Yeah, just this old ass dude standing at the side of the road. Just, it's not James Peterson. James Peterson is a...
It's like Jason.
Jason Peterson?
No. What's his name?
It's something Peterson. I'm gonna look up Peterson philosopher.
This is very important.
This is not the important part of our story, but now Jordan Peterson.
That's right.
There it is. Okay, so this old Jordan Peterson looking fuck, who was just, he was just like mocking the protest, mocking the protesters. And of course, in something like as emotional and personally driven as that, people are bound to get upset and bound to get like really angry at this old fuck. So we turned the corner and we saw like some water being thrown, and then there was a water bottle that was thrown and it exploded, and we were so fucking stupid. We thought it was tear gas, so I started like panicking. I was like, no! And then I look up and I just got a little wet. And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
But then this woman, it was like a very cinematic moment. This woman like pushed her way to the front of the protest, like backed everyone up into like a little semicircle around this guy, and we all just started chanting the hands up, don't shoot chant, kind of like a symbol that like, hey, we're peaceful protesters, we're not going to play your little game. And then he starts mocking that, which is really weird. Like, he's standing there going like, ooh, and I'm like, like, you're like 70 years old, bro. Are you really in like a position to be poking and prodding? So then again, people start getting more upset, but then a bunch of more people come to the front between that guy and the rest of the protesters, and we all sort of start moving along. So there was an active effort by protesters and by protest leaders to remain peaceful. And then eventually I left and went home, and then I opened Twitter, and like the first thing I see is our protest got tear gassed. And then the next day it was the same thing. And then when the next day it was the same thing, and then Wednesday when I went, or actually back up, Tuesday, the police in our area made one of those statements where they're like, hey, we're with you guys. We want to stand with you with solidarity, and we're going to walk with you, and it's going to be very good. And then curfew's at 8. They started arresting people at 7. There were reports from people who were there that they were pepper spraying people. They said that they weren't, and then somebody was like, I got pepper sprayed, and then they were like, yeah, well, we only use pepper spray for like the curfew stuff. And it's like, okay, well, did you pepper spray or didn't you? You know, so there's that mistrust brewing more and more between the community and the police. And then on Wednesday, this is where stuff started to get a little wonky. The protest I went to was almost like sanctioned by the police, so we were escorted by the police and stuff. And there were only like 50 to 75 people there, which the first day there were hundreds. So I was kind of like concerned because I was like, the movement's sort of dying out. That sucks. You know, we have to keep this going. And then we ran into another group of protesters that were chanting "Walk with Us," and a much bigger group of protesters. So it turns out that they didn't want us protesting with the police because they feared that the same thing was going to happen on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So they were thinking like, hey, this is what they did yesterday, they're going to do it again. And even if not that necessarily, it's still a thing of, we're fighting against this system, and I guess us marching with them kind of validates that system, and it's more of a parade than a protest. And I even kind of saw that because there's that one chant that's like, no justice, no peace, prosecute the police. There's like different versions of that, but somebody tried to start that at the protest that I was at, and everyone just kind of turned at them and looked awkwardly, and like no one chanted along, which felt very propaganda-y and very like, because it was awkward. It's like, we're with the police this time though, so
yeah,
you know. So then it starts to question, like, is the goal here just to kind of shut everyone up? You know what I mean? Hey, we're gonna walk with you, so like, chill out until the protest fizzle out. But the sort of counter protest, I guess, is like when I was driving through the area later that day, that protest stretched a mile wide, whereas we ended ours early. So that's still very much going strong, which is good to see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if one is more right than the other. I mean, that's not for me to decide. That's not for either of us to really decide. But it's good to see that, like, it's still going strong, like, over a week later. Yeah. So those were our experience. Cheers to that. So let's talk about some updates regarding the Black Lives Matter movement, some updates regarding the president and Anonymous.
I kind of forgot Anonymous was here. I'm going to be honest, Chief.
They did a bunch of shit day one, and ever since then they've been tweeting. But what else are they doing?
Yeah, it's just like, we leaked all this stuff. All right.
See ya.
Bye. I actually have a fun theory, but I don't think it's going to happen. So, regarding the 45th. So, I don't know if you saw, but the Pentagon actually told any active duty troops to leave Washington and go back to their respective bases. So basically the defense secretary screwed Trump. And I kind of have a low key theory that, like, there may be a military coup against the president. Because it's very shocking that the defense secretary very straight up just said leave, gotta go back to your respective bases. Because I mean,
because the defense secretary is like very against.
Well, the former and the current defense secretary are very much against what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And the military has a very, very big loyalty thing to itself. They very much do respect the people above them. No, you can make any comments you want about that, but it is true. So I wouldn't be shocked if the defense secretary is just like, listen, I'm not saying kick him out of power. However, which it would really, because like I don't know if it would just be
that Trump would kick off the Civil War.
Not necessarily.
I mean, the military going against the president.
Yeah, but like, what's going to happen? Some deep South states are going to like rise up. It is the U.S. military you'd be going against.
Alrighty. Did you hear about in the NYPD? I believe when that one officer pushed that elderly man down.
Was that NYC? I thought it was a different place. Besides,
it might be LAPD.
New York.
I don't know, but it's one of the big cities' PD. They pushed down an elderly man, and then they said that he tripped, and then the video came out showing that they clearly pushed him, and he was like bleeding and everything, and all of those officers just walked right over him. So the big headline the next day was all 57 of the emergency response team for the the emergency riot police have resigned. So first everyone was like, cool, they're in solidarity with the movement. And then we find out they resigned in solidarity with the officer that pushed him, who got suspended without pay, as he should.
Yeah.
So that kind of loyalty to itself thing, sure, but no.
No, stop.
No. There are a couple stories like that where, I mean, it's so weird. Like, the police really need a PR team. Like, they're protesting police brutality.
Yeah.
So the police are like, let's just beat the fuck out of them. And that'll solve it.
Yeah, even Governor Cuomo came out and was just like, hey, what the hell? So, I kind of want to talk about some of these solutions that the NCAA put out, Campaign Zero, and a couple of the localities.
You mean the NAACP?
Oh, yes.
He's the NCAA.
That's the student organization, isn't it?
Yeah, that's for, like, collegiate sports.
Anyway.
The NCAA is gonna solve racism.
Guys. Just call them student rights.
Hear me out. What if we didn't let college basketball players have the rights to their own likeness? That's all you need.
That's all you need. No, but I mean, I very much agree with everything that I've so far not seen a single solution that I totally disagree with. Again, the only thing that seems, I mean, to be fair, I've read more, and I'm not such opposed to it, was the citizen review boards, because when I first read it, I thought it was just like, literally just like a bunch of people just make a decision on an officer, but now it seems it's kind of more like a actual process. It's basically just like a, almost like a trial, before an actual trial, which, yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I feel like most sane people are.
Yeah.
I was looking at the local Fredericksburg one, and they had one that was just like stop the process from school to prison pipeline, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah.
But like they had like a weird one that was just like remove ISS and OSS, and I was just like, interesting. Like maybe it shouldn't apply to like every single rule, obviously. But, you know, if you beat up a student, you know.
I would have to look. I would have to look more into why, but.
Yeah, because they at least in like the post they put, it was to stop criminalizing non-criminal acts.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I understand. Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we could look more into that. Talk about that next week.
Yeah.
When we have all our facts straight.
Yeah. I do think it's good now that a lot of organizations are coming out with actual like solutions,
guidelines. Yeah. Because the big thing I've been hearing from a lot of people, they're like, "Yo, we support the protest, but like, what's next?" And it's like, okay, they've outlined what's next, right? But now it's like we've really outlined what's next.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of like that, like on the 5th day. I was like, all right, protest pretty cool, but like there isn't like a message, if that makes sense. It was kind of just like end police brutality, which is very broad.
Yeah, I mean, but overall, like
now
the larger end goal, I think we talked about this last week, is like a complete reform of the system, which is big, but I'm very happy that like these organizations have come out with like steps, like here's exactly what we need to do on our level, and then a state level, and then a national level. Like every protest is seeing things like that, which I really like.
And like I think Bernie said this on his Twitter. He was just like, you know, you can't really set up a system that's going to just fall back into its normal thing.
Yeah.
A few years later, you know, you need to have like long-lasting reform, which is going to take some time.
Yeah. I mean, it also sets up longevity for the movement, right? I mean, there's only so long that you can go on protesting just for the broader public, what seems like the death of George Floyd. But most people protesting know that this is about more than just the death of George Floyd. It's just the death of George Floyd is what triggered it.
So there's also kind of a lot of angst about Corona, definitely, you know.
Yeah.
And then high unemployment, stuff like that. It's more just like George Floyd was the spark of just everything.
Yeah.
And now the 45th disapproval ratings climbing.
Well, according to our president, it is a wonderful day for George Floyd. He is looking down on us and smiling because it is a good day for him.
God.
Let's talk about that a bit, shall we?
What is
No, I don't even know at this point. So in the past,
it's just kind of like terrible. Yeah.
Oh. You want to get that? Okay, I guess we'll just wait it out.
Yeah.
No, we're good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the president in the past week has gone into a bunker, established essentially martial law, threatened to send troops into all of the states, military troops, barricaded the White House, used George Floyd's death to talk about the economy. Am I missing anything? That's it. There's one more thing. Okay, are we playing charades now? Okay, this is a joke that only our visual people are gonna like. If you're on Spotify, sucks, I guess. Okay, one word. I think even visually it's lagging, so this is just a joke for us. Time. Watch. 2 syllables. 3 syllables. Okay. No, 2 syllables. Okay. Flying. I think we've done this joke to death. I think the joke is done.
Twitter. He
Twitter. He sets himself on Twitter. That joke is, oh my god, that's just fucking awful. They're gonna hate that. What did he say on Twitter?
No, not what he said. What he did to Twitter.
The
executive order.
He signed the executive order that makes Twitter liable for what people post, right?
Yeah.
Because as he describes it, social media is a curator for content, not a platform for content.
Yeah. I mean, I actually don't really agree to what Twitter did with the 45th personally. I think it was just kind of like setting them up, almost. It was a good move for both of them, honestly. You know.
So what they did was he tweeted the thing about when looting starts, shooting starts. And Twitter said, this violates our guidelines, but it's important for public interest, so we're going to keep it up. And then Trump said, cancel.
Go away.
Go away, Twitter.
Mark Zuckerberg came on and was just like, I don't think we should really fact check stuff on our site. Part of me is kind of just like, no, but part of me is kind of like, yeah, because the only part I disagree with is like, who defines what source is correct, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you can like if something's like demonstrably wrong, you know, like saying like the sun isn't real, you know.
There's a fly in my coffee.
You could just.
I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt you, but there's a fly like swimming in my coffee.
Yeah.
He's not just sitting there, he's like moving around. He's scurrying. I think I've had enough coffee for today.
Yeah.
Anyways, fact checking the president.
Yeah. My only ever concern is just like what their source is for fact checking. Because most of the time it's right, you know. But like, it's like, what is, do you define a reliable source? And then, you know, and like, what if it's like not actually reliable or it's more opinion pieced, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
So if like Twitter starts like, I saw that. If Twitter starts like saying like, oh, the Washington Post is like a reliable source, you know, that can be a bit questionable because the Washington Post does say some questionable things sometimes.
Yeah.
That's just my only ever concern with it. I'm not even against fact checking people, but yeah.
I mean, Instagram did that a while back.
Mm-hmm.
Before the meme lords. I hated saying that. What is it? 2012. Before the youth got a hold.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah, you remember that? It was just a bunch of people making horribly false posts. On Instagram, just as a joke, and Twitter would have to fact check. Instagram would have to fact check each and every one of them.
Yeah.
But I think, if I'm not wrong, Twitter is only doing that to the people in public office. Yeah. We'll have to look more into that again.
Yeah. I don't use Twitter personally that frequently, at least.
You know, I do.
We said we wouldn't talk about it.
We wouldn't talk about it. Well, we brought it up, so we have to mention it.
Yeah.
Okay. This impresses me so much. You want to talk about it, Matt? You want to say?
Sure.
You want to say what happened?
So our invaluable host, Juptej, got canceled. It's crazy, folks. It's crazy. It's a pandemonium out here. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't want to go into it anymore. You can find it. Yeah. It's all out there. But last week I was watching some of a clip from last week, and we had joked about the podcast getting canceled because of you.
Yeah, it's funny because now
it was me the whole time.
Oh god, we've already been going for 30 minutes.
Oh, we have been going for 30 minutes. Okay. Anything else pressing we want to talk about? Let's gloss over Anonymous real quick. So Anonymous came back. They hacked the Minneapolis police website. They played Fuck the Police and polka songs. Polka? Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Polka? On the Chicago PD scanners, the little radio.
Mm-hmm.
And they released Jeffrey Epstein's Black Book of all of the names inside, which include royal members of the royal family, Chris Tucker, and of course Trump, and a bunch of other famous names. Naomi Campbell was on there. But yeah, but ever since then, it's crazy the fact that I'm saying that Trump was in Jeffrey Epstein's book, and I'm like, other than that,
yeah,
that's the point where we're at.
It's just because no one cares, really. I'm gonna be honest.
Sensationalism has desensitized us.
Kind of.
Quite the shame, Matthew.
Sad. Well, I think we should get to what this title.
Yeah, let's get to the title.
Podcast is
okay,
titled.
So the idea that we had for this week was basically let's do what Red Letter Media did, but worse.
Yes.
So, if you guys don't know Red Letter Media, they're an amazing review channel on YouTube. They do this series called Half in the Bag that I really like a lot. And they watched some movies from Blumhouse, Blumhouse's Hulu series, which we'll talk about. They watched the best reviewed, the most middle reviewed, and the worst reviewed movie, and they talked about that. Instead, we watched Blumhouse Hulu movies, but we just talked about the ones that appealed to us the most. And oh my god, were we wrong. So first let's talk about Blumhouse Hulu. Let's talk about what's going on there.
Okay.
Blumhouse is a horror production company. They produce movies like Get Out. I think they produced. Let me actually look them up just so I don't get anything wrong. You know how I hate to be wrong, Matt. Blumhouse. They produced The Invisible Man, Get Out, Black Christmas, Whiplash, which that's in there.
Interesting.
Halloween. So they produced such hits like that, and then they also produced
Delivered.
Fantasy Island, which no one saw. Happy Death Day, which was awful.
Oh, I saw that.
Cam, have you seen Cam on Netflix?
No, I've not.
That's the one about the cam girl. It
I presumed.
sucks. It's horrible. So Blumhouse has a thing on Hulu called Into the Dark. And they're known for producing... Blumhouse generally is known for producing small budget films. So they produce a lot of films, some of which are amazing, some of which suck. So I guess Into the Dark is where they put the ones that really, really suck.
Yeah.
So they're all like an hour and 20 minutes, really cheaply made. And most of them are like one location or shot in, a couple locations. And they're just bad.
Yeah.
They're just like it's a whole like anthology series. So the two that we watched were Delivered, which is about a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
But scary.
Scary. I mean, pregnancy is pretty scary.
And are you speaking from experience there?
Yeah, I'm pregnant.
Congratulations. This bit is done. This joke is done. Yeah. And the other one we watched was School Spirit, which is about a school spirit.
Me and Jonathan just figured out it was just a Breakfast Club, but
yeah. Nah, dude, that was apparent 5 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
So let's talk about The Delivered first. Let me pull up my notes on this movie. I took notes as if any of it mattered.
Only on Delivered.
Okay, so Delivered. Let's kind of go through the movie a bit. Delivered is the story about a pregnant woman who is scared, kind of nervous about her pregnancy. So her and her husband go to this pregnant yoga class. I don't know what it is.
Well, with him, let me know anything.
Yeah, this pregnant yoga class. That's what I'm gonna call it. And they meet this girl, lovely little girl, not little girl, woman.
Yeah.
And then the woman brings them over for dinner, and turns out she's super spooky.
She's crazy.
So she kills the husband, straps the spoilers, like fucking anyone cares. She straps down the pregnant woman to the bed and wants to steal her baby. And then it's an hour of that.
And her attempts to escape.
It's very much like, oh, I'm gonna escape. No, you're not gonna escape. I'm not gonna let you escape.
Not this time.
And it's so boring. It is. We saved our reactions. We didn't want to tell each other what we thought of these movies. But this movie fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's quite bad.
It's not even like fun bad. It's just awful.
I don't know, there's a couple funny moments.
Yeah, I took some funny notes. So let's start from the beginning. Do you need to go get your notes? Okay, I'll stall.
No,
I'll stall.
Yeah.
I
just had to close the door. Anyways, I'm back.
Welcome back, Matt, to the Zero Budget Podcast.
Do you know who her husband reminded me of?
Paul fucking Rudd.
That's what
Paul Rudd, dude.
Dude, I was like, this guy's
exactly like
Paul Rudd.
I literally wrote, he's like Paul Rudd, but not Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
In the
he
casting
looks like
call,
Paul Rudd, but also doesn't.
In the casting call, they definitely wrote like Paul Rudd type.
You know, a quirky, straight white guy.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm doing this. Clutch my pearls. It's Paul Rudd. Oh me, oh my.
Also, this movie is super predictable.
Oh, 100%. I mean,
as soon as I saw the white picture, I was like, she's the villain.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Okay, so let's talk about it. It begins in media res. You know, like she's driving away from, you know, the villain, and we don't see the villain, and it's all very suspenseful, and there's a lot of like cuts, shaky. Oh, the editing, by the way, was atrocious.
Yeah. On just every level.
There were so many cuts. Some scenes dragged on for way too long. Some scenes were way too short. It wasn't like Avatar Last Airbender bad, but it was bad.
Why that one specifically?
Because Avatar Last Airbender, dude, the editing in that is the worst. Matt?
Yes.
Yes, the editing in Avatar Last Airbender, awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Let's talk about that baby bump prosthetic.
Like on the woman?
Yeah.
Val?
Yeah, it's just like a bowling ball.
Yeah.
They
like very pregnant.
I don't know what they did, but it looks really bad.
1 second.
Should I? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Matt has left us, so I don't know what to do. This is the worst episode of the Zero Budget Podcast, Season 2. Don't go to Season 1. That one sucks even more. I'm going to stall until he comes back again.
This shit falls apart without Kyle.
Matt! Dude, we need Kyle again. Kyle is the glue. Kyle is the glue that holds the show together. This episode sucks, man. We start off with the glitches, and then, it's all because I got canceled. I'm sorry. I apologize for sucking and being canceled.
Sucking.
On with the show!
No, let's just... Jesus, it's fucking fell.
Fuck me. We should just stick to politics. Because we know so much about that.
I don't know about international relations. That's what I study.
Matt, we have a job to do. We must entertain the people. Holy shit. We must keep the people informed, and we must keep them entertained. The people rely on us, Matthew. Look at me. Hey.
So we can do this. About in the film.
Let's talk about the film.
Honestly, I'm just going to jump into specific scenes I've written down. I
wrote down specific scenes too.
There's that one scene where the dude from Chicago, as I dubbed him, was trying to call Val.
The guy who she was cheating.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that's really
man.
not a spoiler because you know that the second you hear his name.
Yeah.
The movie doesn't try at all to keep it suspenseful, or they try too hard to make it suspenseful, which means you get it.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
But Val has an iPhone X.
Yeah.
And then the crazy white bitch is just like, give me your fingerprint. It doesn't actually matter to the plot. But it's so funny to me.
My favorite line, actually, from the movie, I think, is in that scene where she's like, give me your fingerprint. And then Val's like, no, I don't want to give you my fingerprint. She's like, give me your fingerprint or I will cut your fucking finger off. And it's just out of nowhere.
Yeah. I like to dub the crazy white bitch as a quirky sociopath.
Yeah.
Which is probably the worst movie trope.
I hate that trope. I wrote that down.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me go to it. I literally wrote down, give me your fingerprint or I will take your fucking finger. Anyway, yeah, this is the most simple, basic, cheap thriller villain tactic of, I kidnapped them because I actually love them, but I'm also, abusive and insane.
Yeah.
Which is also where the next movie goes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, School Spirit went that exact same way, but in a different route. The movie has no structure.
Yeah.
There's no story. Nothing happens.
Just
things.
Shit.
It's just stuff. People just die, and it's not fun to watch them die either.
Yeah.
The
goatee man.
The goatee man dying was the worst part of the film.
It was so dumb. Everything in that sequence was dumb. He came wildly unprepared.
Yeah,
he just like rolled up.
So I honestly I was on my phone for some of it, so I don't even remember like how he found her. This is the most forgettable film.
I'll tell you. I actually do remember. So basically, they were supposed to meet for lunch that one day, and obviously she wasn't there. So then he kind of went. He remembered that she goes to that yoga place, and he's like, "Hey, has this person checked in?" They're like, "No, but she may have already given birth, and that's why." He was like, okay. And then he goes to their house, and then he knows there's like a key from that. He unlocks it. The place is like a mess. A lot of mail is on the floor, I guess. And then he looks. They have like a calendar, a very convenient calendar, and it's just like June 10th, dinner at this address. And he's like, I guess they're at the address.
That's it?
Oh, yeah, and then he just goes there.
So they meet this woman at mom yoga, or they say mama stay, which I don't know if that's a real thing, but that sucks. And then they go to like lunch with her or something afterwards, because she's kind of like flirting with Tom, who's the husband, in the worst flirting scene I've ever seen, because it's just so like awkward and intense, and like the joke isn't funny. Like he says like, when are you due? Because she's also presumably pregnant. And then the villain Jenny, she goes due? Wow, why would you say that? I work here.
Yeah.
And it's just so tense. And then she's like, I'm due in September. And then she just walks into the class. Yeah. And through all that chemistry that existed between these two actors, the main character is like, who's going to cheat on me? Which is funny, because she's cheating on Tom.
Cheating.
Within the first 5 seconds of her being introduced, it is clear that the woman wants to steal her baby.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tom's death was the silliest shit.
Yeah.
Because that's
so like cartoony.
Yeah, that scene was like they were having dinner at her house, and she drugged the pregnant woman. So she's all like, I feel so relaxed. I feel so good. And then Tom goes over to her. He's like, baby, what's wrong? What's wrong? And that goes on for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's so long. And then out of nowhere, it just cuts to her with an axe.
Yeah, and then just...
Then it's just out.
Okay, so back to
go ahead.
Back to the Chicago guy. See,
the goatee
when I meant like he was wildly unprepared, the goatee man, he just like rolled into place without anything, not even like a gun. You know, it's been like a week, he could have gotten one. You know, this is America. Or like, you know, like fuck 12. But also, you know, if you think the woman you cheated with was kidnapped,
the woman who is pregnant with your child.
Yeah. And you know the address where she is at. Again,
call the police.
12, but also
call the
police.
That's what I was.
That's what
I was also thinking is there are no consequences to anything in this story. Is like everything in this story happens in this weird little bubble. Like no one is concerned about Tom. Tom's just some fuck. Tom doesn't exist. No one's concerned about Randy. Randy's the guy that she cheated with. He just flies out from Chicago one day to get this baby, and he's there for like a week, and then he fucking dies, and we hear nothing about it.
Yeah.
This woman with the baby is like, I guess she has like no friends or anything, I guess, so no one cares about her. It's like there's nothing here. The suspension of disbelief is like gone.
Yeah. Fucking.
She also has these weird dream sequences.
Yeah.
Which add nothing. They just pad out time.
when the goatee guy actually finally breaks in and the crazy bitch is behind him, and like he just stands there, he just like, and then he just gets whacked with a shovel, and
yeah.
And then like the pregnant girl, she like knocks her out with a chain, which she was also only knocked out for like 2 seconds
before we cut to the scene, and then we go to the scene that we saw in the beginning.
It's more
full circle.
Big brain movie.
And then they're about to like crash into each other. Yeah. And then after that scene, I just kind of checked out, like mentally. I blocked out half of the film. And then it ends.
Yep.
How does it end?
She like goes to the bathroom.
Oh fuck yeah. She pretends to give herself, she pretends to kill the child, who at this point it's a 9-month-old pregnancy, so I don't think there's any controversy in saying that she pretended to kill the child.
Yeah.
But it turns out it's just a cat.
Yeah. Honestly, at first I thought she killed both.
Just killed the cat just because she could.
Yeah. Just because she's like, fuck this cat. Yeah.
Oh, and then she gives birth.
Right? That's right. Yeah.
Do you remember that? Right. Yeah. Then so she kills the cat, puts it all over her, and then puts the cat guts in the toilet to act like the baby, and then after that she kills Jenny, and then she's just giving birth. She's just going into labor. Yeah. And then they get the bright idea to call 911.
Yeah. Oh wait, I can call 911. Damn, dog.
That's
fun. Yeah. That's when she first knocked her out. Why didn't she just like take her phone? It was obviously on her. Just
because this movie has nothing going for it.
Yeah. Because the movie would have ended in like 20 minutes if she did that.
Oh, it also has a Get Out moment. When she finds the box of the pictures. So the woman finds like a box of pictures that has a whole bunch of other pregnant women, and she's like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here." It's like you're chained up. You don't need that moment. You're literally. That was when she was already chained to like the floor or whatever. So it's like you don't need an extra moment of this woman is crazy. It's clear this woman is crazy. And Matt has left us again. So this episode is fucking cursed. We are lost without Kyle. Kyle held this show together, and now we're fucked. We would like to take this moment to formally apologize for the Zero Budget Podcast.
Yeah.
So I think we've talked that movie to death.
Yeah.
My final note was this movie was 1 hour and 20 minutes long. It was too long. Endgame was an easier watch.
Yeah.
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 Second movie we watched was School Spirit. Matt, I'm going to let you do the synopsis for that one.
Okay, so who's here who's watched Breakfast Club? Alright. It's like that.
No comment.
But worse. So basically, it starts off with these two hooligans breaking into their school. One of them, I think, has already graduated.
Yeah, so, he says that in a very subtle line of exposition, where he goes,
"Yeah,
I've already graduated, and you don't graduate and go back to school because I've already graduated."
Yeah, I think his friend is a senior now.
Yeah, because he's like, I got one more year left in the shithole.
Yeah, or maybe he's like a super senior or some shit like that. I don't know.
And when they show us the inside of the school's got resources, dog.
Oh yeah, it's like an old school, but it's like
it's not a regular.
It's like an old school, but it's like a rich school. You know,
100% a rich school.
It's definitely like in California.
Uh-huh.
Like they don't say it, but like
Yeah, and it's called Hellbrook.
Yeah, Hellbrook.
Hellbrook. You know?
I get it.
Because it's a scary movie.
Yeah. And then these two hooligans try to set up a GoPro to live stream at homecoming of like the girls' shower room. Because that's just not a. I don't know what they said, but it was something like I was watching this movie with a friend, and I was like, that's just a felony.
Yeah, they were like, he wanted to set it up because he said like, I want to live stream it. I don't want to do it pervertedly. Yeah. I just want to whip the school into chaos. Most of the girls here are fucking ugly anyways.
But I'm still going to expose their naked body.
You get them, dude.
Yeah, you got them. Destroyed. And then there's this spooky dude comes out and murders both of them.
Blackbeard shows up.
Yeah. Well, they're the admirals.
Yeah.
It's the school spirit. And then it cuts to this Asian lady, and she's presumably like the best in class person.
She's the class president.
Yeah, and she's like all this shit. She's the goody two shoes, but she has weekend detention,
which is the worst fucking thing in the world.
Oh my god. The vice principal has probably committed some more crimes.
We'll talk more about the vice president. We have to talk, or the vice principal. We have to talk about it.
Whenever he was on screen, it just got sad.
I loved him. Oh wait, keep going. Just keep going with the synopsis.
All these characters are super unrealistic, except for like two-ish. That being the girl, the tough, quirky girl, who wore a flannel. So that's how you know she was tough. Yeah. She was like believable, honestly, and then the tough guy,
Victor.
Yeah, Vic.
Yeah, I just watched this movie like an hour ago. So
yeah, I don't remember most of their names. And then the bunch of people comes in, takes the role. All their phones get dumped into a bucket. Makes sense. They were originally, I guess, going to do homework, but then the vice principal was like, "No, we're cleaning this room and only this room." Which, admittedly, if I was in detention, I'd rather clean than like do homework, because it's just more stimulating, I guess.
It's like, all right, anyways, I guess I'll do it.
Yeah, and then this one awkward kid literally walks in like this. He comes in late. He's awkward. Apparently, they know him. And then we talk about the school spirit, who's like an old dead teacher who murders bad kids.
Yeah, she was like this uptight teacher that they pranked her by pouring cold water over her, and then she fucking died. So to cover it up, an entire classroom's worth of students shoved her into the mascot's costume, which is a pirate. The least scary thing imaginable.
It's actually an admiral.
An admiral pirate. And they hid her away somewhere. And that's the villain of the movie.
That's it. There you go.
Not some ghost. Not some zombie.
Some Scooby-Doo shit.
An old weak heart teacher in a pirate costume.
So then the bad kids, because the Asian girl, she's there, and she's like all goody two shoes and shit. But the bad kids are like, let's go commit some crimes. One of them has like a dab pen, and then some of them have they steal like liquor from the vice principal office, because I guess he's an alcoholic. That's something that just kind of gets brushed over. And so then they commit some debauchery debauchery, or whatever it's called. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention the dumbest character, the fucking long neck dude.
The neck dude?
Yeah. His head was so, like, not to roast this guy, but like, Jesus.
His neck was so, like, ugh. And he gets murked within the first, like 30 minutes of the movie, which I'm so...
The school spirit, jumps in like fucking Batman.
He fucks up his neck, which...
Yeah. Oh,
hey.
I love the scene at the end of the movie involving him, but yeah, so Long Neck gets murked. They all go back to like library, I presume, and they all get high except the awkward kid. And then the vice principal comes back into the room intoxicated, and he's just like, "Hey, why does it smell like weed in here?" And then the Asian bitch just spills some bleach, and she's like, "What weed?" And then he's just like, "Alright." It's not exactly what happens, but kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. She's just like, she spills some bleach, and then the awkward kid is like, I don't smell weed, officer, or vice principal. But I do smell alcohol. And then the vice principal is like, and then he leaves. Then that's the scene.
Then they all go back out. Oh yeah, they went to go get a mop, clean up.
And then she met her boyfriend, and they were gonna.
Well, they were definitely, the awkward kid and the Asian bitch were like definitely about to smash, but like,
yeah.
Then her boyfriend comes out of nowhere, and then like, the boyfriend gets like super defensive. He's
very
like,
defensive. Just for seeing this guy, he's like about to fight him just because she's like standing next to him. And then she's gonna go fuck him, but then she's so high that she gets chips instead. Yeah. And then he fucking dies. Yeah.
He gets his ankles clean cut off.
Clean.
That man did him so dirty. He was like, I want your J's. Just he yoinked them.
And then fucking. Then again, I like checked out of the movie because then it's like they're realizing people are going missing.
Yeah.
So then they go to.
Oh, the vice principal also locked all the doors.
Oh yeah, for some reason.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want you guys to escape, so I'm gonna lock everything out.
Yeah.
So they go to find their phones. Then they find a trail of blood leading to the principal's office, and then they find a trail of blood leading to a secret room.
Yeah.
So they like go into that or something, and then they start talking about their lives. And there's this really weird moment where like the pirate is in the vent, like listening to them having this conversation, and the pirate just goes like this very creepy pirate thing, just goes. Just like hangs his head in like sadness. He's
so
just
sad.
Like, oh man, and then he just continues on. Like, why are you humanizing the pirate character?
Well, like we know why, but like it's dumb.
Yeah, and then Victor, the tough guy, he gets fucked up with he tries to go after it with an axe, and then he kind of bitches out, and then he tries to go away, but then the pirate dude gets his axe and murders him. And then twist. Matthew, would you like to explain the twist?
It's the awkward kid.
It's the awkward kid the whole time.
As soon as he walked into the room, I was like, that's probably the villain. Really, I didn't think he was the villain immediately. I did think it was the vice principal.
No, I definitely lost my shit when I found out it was him. I lost it at the twist.
Well, no, as soon as the girl was getting her like chips from the vending machine, and like the pirates like stood there and didn't do anything, I was like, that's totally him. Because he's also bitching the whole time, like, guys, let's just follow the rules. And then the whole stick of the school spirit that he only kills bad kids.
Yeah. So the awkward kid, fucking.
Also, Also, they go to the principal's office with the trail of blood, and they look at his computer. They don't reveal it till later, but like, he's not actually in detention.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He wasn't supposed to be in detention.
Yeah, and then the vice principal actually pulls him aside earlier before that, actually.
And that's why he went missing, but he really was just fucking killing people. Then he kills the tough girl, but of course, our main character, he just ties her up and brings her to the basement thing of the school, where he just stashes his dead bodies. It's a classroom. I love this scene. It's a classroom of dead bodies, and Neckboy, Neckboy's there with duct tape around his neck.
They did the boyfriend dirty again, because he put like his feetless legs in just a fucking box.
In a box. And then we get to the trope of, I kidnap you, but I'm obsessed with you. I love you. And it turns out that the awkward kid is that teacher's son, the teacher who was killed. So it feels more like a sequel than anything else.
Yeah.
Honestly, it feels like a sequel to a...
It's like reverse like Friday the 13th.
Yeah. It's like, what they didn't tell you was that he had a son. She had a son. And he's like obsessed with good students.
Yeah.
Because good students give the school more funding.
I don't think that's how that works.
An awkward girl the main character girl was in there because she bribed the vice principal to give her better grade, to change her A- into an A so she could get into Harvard. So main character girl like kind of tries to seduce him and goes, "Hey, you're not so bad of a guy." And
oh no, you've got one part.
What I forget?
Where the boy's just like, yeah, and the boyfriend character was about to take your virginity.
Oh yeah, that was so weirdly thrown in there. She's like, yeah, he fucking just straight up. He's like, I could not let him take your virginity like that. So I had to... And, like, they also have some weird, like, feminist undertones here, which, like, don't make this about feminism, because that's clearly not what this is about.
Yeah.
And then they fucking... He puts his sword thing down from his pirate costume. And so now she's dancing with him, because he has, like, this disco ball set up in this cellar where he's lived. And... she, like, inches him closer to the sword. And then she just fucking kills him.
Yeah.
There's no, like, struggle. There's no, is she gonna die? Is she not gonna die? She just... That's it. She stabs him. And there's this weird monologue that she has where she tells him how bad of a person she is. But all she says is, I've cheated and I've had sex.
Yeah.
She said, I wrote this down. She says, I cheat all the time. And plus, I've had sex with Jason 27 times already, and I've given 3 different guys blowjobs. And then she twists a knife, and then he goes, Mama, Mama. It's like...
No. It was funny, because I was watching it with a friend, and when we were trying to figure out why she was in detention, he was just like, I think she gave like sloppy toffee in the bathroom. And then we got to that line, he was like, I knew it!
Yeah, but that's not why she's in detention. It just happened.
No, it's not.
She's like, I've had sex and I have given blowjobs. And plus I cheat. And that makes me a bad person. But nobody tells me what to do. Which she repeats a couple of times throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I think we're at the... Oh, and then she doesn't tell anybody that she was there for detention, which is weird because the school definitely has records of it since they sent a list to the vice principal. But she's like, I was there for weekly community service, and they all were dying, and I tried to help, but now I'm going to do my Harvard application. So it turns out...
For some reason, that just, like, it just makes us more suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's dissect this movie now, shall we? I fucking loved this movie.
It was way more, I think, enjoyable.
It was so much. It was so entertaining. This movie was
all for all the wrong reasons, but like
no, this movie was great. I was like, okay, so they do a lot of like lingering shots in the beginning. This movie has every trope, like every trope you can think of. This movie has it. Like they do the lingering shot of the Admiral's mascot, and then they also the two people in the beginning were talking about, why is our mascot admirals? Why can't it be like tigers or snakes? So then at that second, I was like, is this going to be like Goosebumps? Where it's just a pirate and then it's fucking Captain Jack Sparrow who's here to kill them. And it has the whole like horror movie opening where it's like, it's someone you don't know. It's like two very unlikable characters to die to establish the threat. One of the characters goes missing, and then they're like, "Hey, that's not funny, dude. Quit it."
Oh, and then one of the dudes literally has like a Velma moment where
his glasses,
and then he's just like, I was so waiting for the Admiral to hand him his glasses and be like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah. But then right after that, we get a really beautiful shot of the blood and the water. So I'm like that shot would have been amazing in a good movie.
Yeah. But in this one,
and there's a lot of really terrible exposition. Like, it's so weird to graduate and come back to your school, and then at one point, like the boyfriend says to the main character, "You're gonna go to Harvard and never see me again." It's all stuff like that they think is like subtle, but it's not.
Yeah, just isn't.
Next dude's name is Russell. He's a little shit. He's the worst character, the most annoying character, and I was very glad when he died. But the vice principal is awesome. He acted his little heart out in this movie.
I think he was just like, I'm gonna take James Jameson from the original Spider-Man trilogy, but as a vice principal.
He was like a real life good actor.
Yeah,
I don't care. He was great.
Yeah, and he was actually shockingly subtle, which is not very common in this movie. Where he would like get angry and then like calm down. Yeah, you like see it in his face. He'd be like, "Well,
where's his Oscar?" Honestly, he was amazing. And his comedic timing was really good too.
Yeah. Especially when he started beating the shit out of Victor.
Oh yeah, dude! Fucking, I don't get how this guy still has a job. Victor says an amazing line where the vice principal is like, "I give the orders and you listen," and then Victor's like, "You mean how your wife listened to you when you begged her not to leave you?" "Oh, I'm sorry. Your ex-wife." And then the vice principal fucking grabs this kid by his collar and then just goes, Yeah. It's
just like
awesome.
Just like
it's awesome. And
then every time they would cut to his office, it would just be the most Whenever me
sadly, he's like,
and he's just looking at his like ex-wife's Facebook page.
There's this part where they're trying to steal. The little shit Russell is trying to steal alcohol from his office because he's an alcoholic, and he does that while the vice principal is in the bathroom, and they keep cutting to the vice principal like trying to wash his hands, but I guess there's not enough like water coming out of it, so he just like kind of stares at it, and it's hilarious.
Well, no, because they were in the bathroom making noise so he would get out, so he was trying to figure out why that.
Matt, this episode is cursed. Oh my god.
It's so cursed.
Matt?
Yeah?
Here we go, buddy. What were you saying?
The reason why he was using the sink was not because he was washing his hands. He was trying to figure out how the sink made noise with no one in there.
I thought either way, it was so funny because he would turn on like one of the handles and just like stare at it. Vice principal was amazing. When they get high, they don't shut up about it.
Yeah.
Like there was one scene where like I counted and she mentioned like 5 times within 30 seconds how high they were. It was when her and Awkward Boy were walking down the hallway, and she just goes, "Am I high, or am I just hearing things?" And then he's like, "You're definitely just hearing things." And then she's like, "I can't tell if I'm just high, but maybe I'm just high," or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then boyfriend comes and he's like, "Are you stoned?" And she's acting like drunk. Like she's like stumbling and shit, and she's like slurring her speech and all that. And she's like, "I'm just like, I think I'm really high." We get it. We get it. You smoked.
Yeah, it's the Vice Principal was the only good character. Everyone else is kind of mediocre.
And they also have the thing of like, we're flirting, we're about to have sex, but the partner goes somewhere, and then they think that the partner came back and is like messing with them, but it's the villain, it's the monster villain thing. So they're like, I can't wait to have sex with you, and they think that it's like teasing, and then they turn the corner, whoop, monster, ankles gone.
Your J's? Mine. He could have killed him in any other way, but he's just like, I'm cutting off your ankles. I'm gonna break your ankles real quick. It's ironic.
The writing, the dialogue, is so strange. They keep using words like narc and square. And for some reason, Victor is like really concerned that one of them is a cop, even though he knows who Erica Yang is. And he's seen Erica Yang is the main character, and then he's seen the awkward kid in detention before, but he's still like, "Are you sure you ain't a cop? If you're not a cop, get high with me." And then later, when awkward kid pushes away the vice principal, he's like, "Hey, maybe you're not a cop after all." It's like, no, dude, no one here's a cop.
No, they're all students. God. Alright. Is there any more really soon? The twist, I mean, I saw it coming for a while.
I loved it. I was like, oh shit, go awkward kid! He's like, I'm the son.
Jonathan brought up a fair point. How did he, like, drag bodies up that ladder, or down the ladder?
I was thinking, how did he, like, make noises? You know what I mean?
Maybe he has a phone.
Were times
his phone never got thrown away, so...
There were times when, like, when he was walking with Erica down the hallway, and she was, like, hearing clanking and stuff like that. What was she hearing? Who was making that noise?
I don't know.
The movie sucked. Don't get us wrong.
Terrible. It's a bad movie.
But we loved every second of
it. It was enjoyable, at least.
If you're gonna watch one of the 2 movies that we watched today, watch School Spirit and have yourself a good time.
Honestly, grab a couple friends.
Grab a couple buddies. I watched a movie like that the other day too with some buddies. I watched Dead Con on Netflix. Mm-hmm. You can tell by the name Dead Con, it's a cinematic masterpiece.
Yeah.
So throw on Dead Con, throw on School Spirit, grab a couple buddies on Netflix Party, or even Hulu has a watch party option now.
Yeah.
So watch some, have a good time with your friends, and that is the Zero Budget Podcast message.
Yeah. Are we gonna review the other 2 that we thought about?
Yeah. So we wanted to watch a couple other ones, but I guess honestly, this segment is kind of experimental because, like,
yeah,
I don't know how much people like watching people review movies that they haven't seen, and like the way that Red Letter Media does it is good because they like edit in clips of the movie and stuff, and like edit in clips of the trailer so you can see just how awful it is. But we can't really do that with the live podcast. So
Maybe
I don't know.
We should do recorded.
I don't know. I guess maybe. We'll see how successful this segment is with with the 8 people that we know that watch.
Yeah.
And I actually don't think anybody's watching right now, so maybe we lost them.
I'm watching.
You're watching, King. Thank you for your support.
No problem.
This podcast is really lost without Kyle.
Yeah.
We miss Kyle.
We should invite Bennett back.
No, the fuck, we should not.
He's changed.
No, I don't care.
He's changed, dog.
I like having guests on, though.
Yeah.
I want to do more guest-oriented stuff, and maybe we'll have a couple in the works. Who knows?
But we can only do that if you like and share this podcast.
Like and share and comment and subscribe.
And then maybe tell some folks it's on Spotify if they don't like you.
Talk to the folks. Talk to all the folks.
Yeah. Maybe don't show them this one.
Hey,
but
you
like,
all know, folks. Yeah, maybe don't listen to the cursed episode. Maybe that's what we should title it. That's what we should title it. The cursed episode.
Yeah.
No.
However,
listen to it. Tell all the folks you know.
Tell one folk, maybe 2 folk.
3
folks?
Third
folk as well.
Oh, 3 folks. Getting a little.
3 folk. That's a little pushy.
Ooh. Just tell a couple of folks. I think we're good.
Yeah.
If we keep it at a couple, we're like a pyramid scheme. You get to a couple folks, maybe those couple folks tell a couple folks. Before you know it, the entirety of the American population is watching the Zero Budget Podcast. And that is our mission.
Yeah. We just gotta surpass Joe Rogan.
Dude, Joe Rogan is like exclusively with Spotify now. We can get there. Give us a week.
Yes, give us like a month.
Like a month.
By July 4th.
By July 4th. Oh, that's going to be an interesting episode of the podcast.
July 4th falls on a Saturday.
Let's see. It does. Maybe we should pre-record that one. Maybe we shouldn't do that one live.
I don't know. We may do something for 4th of July, but I'm not sure about you.
No. Dude, 4th of July, come on. Now, in this political climate, come on.
But hot dogs.
All countries matter. I've been seeing that going around a lot. It's like 4th of July is now All Countries Matter Day.
There's a very, very classic meme where it's Portugal saying, like, we have 2 freedom days. And then it's just the United States saying we have 365 freedom days.
Oh, fuck. Gotcha, Portugal.
Gotcha. Shut the fuck up, Portugal.
Portugal, stay in your fucking place.
Yeah. Well, Portugal's just like the New Jersey of Europe.
Of countries?
No, of Europe,
Portugal?
specifically.
It's like when someone says, I'm from Jersey, it's like, Jersey?
Yes.
As someone
Brazil?
Someone who's moving to Jersey. Who? Maybe. Oh.
Oh,
I
wait,
heard,
that's right, shit.
GMU opened up again, huh?
Oh, yeah. The email they sent was a little vague. It was kind of just like generally like, yeah, we're going to be opening up, like, kind of. So people will be on campus, but there'll be limited access to dorms. But it sounds like it's just going to be the traditional dorms that are going to have limited capacity, so the traditional apartments are probably going to be fine,
Nice.
which is where I'm staying at. And then there's going to be a mixture of online and offline classes, and then like hybrid classes, and like the class is going to have a limit. They said they're going to get more details about that kind of stuff later.
So you have an option?
For what do you mean?
Like, so do you have an option of like, listen, I don't want to go to class. Like, let me do it online. Could you do that? Or, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they expanded how many online classes there are. And, because, I mean, like, they've already had online classes before COVID, but now they just expanded that. And some classes are now hybrid, so they meet partly in person, partly out of person.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Dude, we should release merch.
I'm saying, dog.
Like our logo on a shirt?
It's kind of tough. We'll talk later. But I think we should officially close it off.
Really? This is so much better than like the hour that preceded it.
Yeah.
Just guys.
Maybe we shouldn't.
Maybe we shouldn't do like segments. Maybe we should just guys. Maybe us guys should just be dudes.
Yeah.
Mayhaps.
Some dudes talking.
Just dudes talking, chatting it up. Mayhaps.
Maybe unchatting it up.
Unchatting it up.
Just fucking end the stream.
Let's fucking end. Okay. Thank you all for listening to the most cursed podcast on Earth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and smash that bell icon to get notifications for all our future updates. Make sure to follow us on Instagram. We have our links in the description. Is that it?
Yeah.
Did I say anything?
So. Yeah.
Check out Joe's City.
Oh yeah, check out Joe's City.
Friend of the show.
Listen,
Joe
he
City.
has some funny videos that I've made.
Oh, mine is not. Check out Joe's City. Anything else?
Well, he'll have a new video in 30 minutes, right?
Shut up.
Oh, shit.
Shut up, big guy. I mean, who knows? Maybe. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. That's not for you to say. What the fuck are we doing? We're ending it. Okay. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.